Hey, I'm Craig, and today for the Surfboard Guide, we're going to check out the new Dolphin Racer by Critters Toy Co. So the Dolphin Racer is kind of like a classic kind of traditional fish, keel, fin, big swallowed fish by Critters Toy Co. So the one I got is their stock 5.6, and it's 5.6 by 20.70 by 2.65, and it's 33.1 litres. So those that might not be familiar, they're kind of some US sort of dims. Sometimes they use different dims, and that's what they've come over. Critters Toy Co is a brand, I think from Los Angeles, California, and now available in Australia by Legends at Rhino Manufacturing. So looking over it, really traditional kind of fish, you know, holds a fairly wide outline, big, nice, wide tail, as you can see there. Rocker is fairly flat. It's a flat board. Nice little bit of lift in the front there just to keep you through the bottom curve, just to keep you out of trouble, to keep the thing, you know, surfing well, not nosediving that. But otherwise, really flat through the entrance. I mean, exit, just a little bit of tail lift, especially through that double that comes off the back. We'll talk a bit more about that later. The rail profile, you know, it's got a fairly kind of medium to full deck to a medium to full rail. So it holds a lot of volume through the rail. So it's nice and gentle, very forgiving through the water, and super, super easy to surf. Flipping it over, really simple in the bottom. Single concave up the front, comes through to a double through the fins. Nothing crazy, really gentle concaves that just kind of keep water moving, making it really easy to surf. And that double through the fins there and off the tail just kind of gets it drop away off those the edge of the tail there, and almost like a really natural kind of V out the back. So water's going to move through really easily, really nicely, keeping it fast, really easy to surf. And that kind of V that comes very naturally through that double through the tail, it's just going to make that pivoting off the back foot, that rail to rail, really easy and nice to surf, especially with this big wide swallowtail. So the Dolphin Racer I've had for a little while, and I'm a big fan of you know, these classic, more traditional style, you know, skip fry type fishes. A while ago we checked out the Christensen fish, which was very, very similar to this. I love the Christensen fish and love the Dolphin Racer. I know I've had a few DMs and stuff because I put this board up on the Instagram. If you haven't checked it out, check it out at the Surfboard Guide. People ask me, like, you know, what's the difference? Always coming back to that Christensen fish because it's such a classic fish. If I had to compare the two, I'd say the Christensen, you know, Christensen calls that board, you know, if you had to take one board anywhere, that's the board he'd take. It works across a whole range of conditions, and I must agree. But I'd say the Dolphin Racer probably has some better lower end capability. So by lower end capability, I mean in, you know, small waves, kind of, you know, knee to waist high, not a lot of push. This felt like it went a little bit better, but the Christensen definitely had some higher end capability. So, you know, when waves are a little bit better, a bit more push, you know, when it's kind of pumping, that board worked really well. Where I felt this kind of, you know, I'd start to reach for like a short board or something a little bit more performance. So I was definitely grabbing this for, you know, smaller, average, weaker conditions, and coming into summer in Australia, you know, we get a lot of shore breaks, rip bowls, stuff like this. This has been a whole lot of fun. Paddles really well, really easy to get onto waves. You know, my shortboards kind of sit around 31.5, 32 litres, so 33.1 sits just above my shortboard volume, but you know, paddle onto everything I wanted to get onto. Really great flow across flat sections and just surfed really, really easily. A whole lot of fun and very, very hard to get off. In the Dolphin Racer, it's a classic kind of twin keel fish, twin fin. There's no other options here, and I'd definitely be going for a keel. It feels more natural. I don't think I'd be putting an upright twin in this. When I first got it, I actually tried the K2s by Futures. So really classic, you know, Futures had the K1 and the K2 for years. K2's been really popular. We checked it out in so many reviews. It's a really good kind of basis point for me to start a board where I'm not sure how it's going to go. I know how the K2 works, you know, similar in the thruster to like the AM2 set. Put the K2 in and kind of go from there. K2 felt great. Futures have just released these new Rasta keels, and I was really keen to check them out. Threw these in the last few surfs and a couple of waves you'll see in our footage. The Rasta keel has a really nice foil. It's a speed generating foil on the inside of the fin, and it felt like it gave the board almost an extra gear. You know, this board paddled well, surfed really well across flat sections, was really fast, really agile. But the Rasta gave it this extra gear that, you know, the K2s didn't. The K2s had really great control, were really easy to surf. When waves had push and I was turning and I wasn't generating speed, they were perfect. But in the footage you'll see I'm surfing some pretty small and pretty average waves, and these things felt absolutely spot on. I'll put some things below in some of the clips so you know which ones are the K2 and which ones are the Rasta. You'll clearly see these things are faster, and I'm surfing some pretty small, weak waves, and I'm a pretty heavy guy, and these were the go-to fins. So yeah, they've recently changed the construction in the Rasta across the keel and the upright, and I think there's also a quad, maybe even a thruster as well. There's a whole Rasta range, and they've changed the construction. So they feel really good. They've got the speed generating foil. They're a fast fin, super agile, and they were absolutely perfect in the Dolphin Racer. Overall, absolutely love the Dolphin Racer. The thing was a whole lot of fun. I love these style of boards. Living in Sydney in Australia, you know, we get some fun waves, but we also get some pretty average waves. And I love something that's just going to paddle well, surfs really well across a variety of conditions. It might be kind of 1 to 4 foot, maybe not a lot of push, maybe a bit of push, maybe pretty junky, pretty windy. And this thing was absolutely perfect. Like I said, it had really good, like, lower end capability. So for small, weaker, junky, shories, rip bowls and stuff, the thing was perfect. Paddled like I was on a mal, got across flat sections, and with the addition of the Rasta keel by Futures, gave it an extra gear. It was so fast, there wasn't a lot it couldn't do. Yeah, definitely tapped out a little bit when it got a little bit bigger and a little bit more push, but to be honest, when it's overhead, I want to grab a shortboard or something a little bit more performance shortboard-ish anyway. So for what the Dolphin Racer was designed for, the thing was absolutely perfect. Critters Toy Co, new to Australia. You can check out their website, critterstoyco.au, and I believe they're doing 10% off custom orders. So if you go check out their website, you'll see some links. We'll also put some stuff in our Instagram and on YouTube, so you can see if you want to order one. And if you speak to them, let them know you checked out the review and it got you keen to check one out. We'll be checking out a few different Critters Toy Cos over the coming months. Really exciting kind of board brand, doing things a little bit differently. I like their aesthetic and their feel, and the boards seem to go pretty well. Look, overall, loved it. Awesome opportunity to check out a board and a brand I haven't checked out before. And hopefully you get a chance to check one out too. Thanks so much for watching.